here's the story of Cyril and Methodius and how they became patrons of Europe. In the 9th century, the Byzantine Empire, under the rule of Emperor Michael III, was expanding its influence in Eastern Europe. Christianity was already well established in the Byzantine world, and the emperor saw the need to spread the Christian faith to the Slavic people who lived in the territories of modern-day Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and surrounding regions. At the time, the Slavs were mostly pagan and had no written language, which made it difficult to spread Christian teachings in a meaningful way. The mission of Cyril and Methodius. Cyril, originally named Constantine, and his older brother Methodius were both born in Thessalonica, in the Byzantine Empire. Cyril was well educated, trained as a scholar and philosopher, while Methodius was a respected military leader who later entered the monastic life. Their intellectual and spiritual capabilities made them ideal candidates for the mission that the Byzantine emperor had in mind. In the year 862, the two brothers were sent to the Great Moravian Empire, which was an important Slavic state in Central Europe. The ruler of Moravia, Prince Rastislav, had requested help from the Byzantine emperor to promote Christianity in his region, but with a crucial condition: he wanted the gospel to be preached in the Slavic language, rather than in Latin, which the people did not understand. This request was a bold and unconventional one, as Latin was the liturgical language of the Christian Church at that time, and using the Slavic language for Christian rituals was a point of contention among the Church authorities. Nevertheless, Emperor Michael III and the Patriarch of Constantinople saw the wisdom in allowing the Slavs to worship in their own tongue, believing that this would help foster a stronger, more authentic Christian faith among them. Creation of the Glagolitic alphabet. Cyril and Methodius knew that in order to effectively spread Christianity, they would need a written language for the Slavic people. Cyril, who was a linguist and scholar, took on the monumental task of creating an alphabet for the Slavic language. After much study, he developed the Glagolitic script, which was based on Greek letters but adapted to suit the sounds of the Slavic languages. This was the first alphabet ever designed specifically for the Slavic peoples. The Glagolitic alphabet allowed the brothers to translate Christian texts into the Slavic language. They began with the Bible, translating key liturgical texts and parts of the Old and New Testament into Old Church Slavonic, which became the liturgical language of the Slavs. Their translations were a breakthrough in making Christianity more accessible to the people of the Slavic world. For the first time, the Slavs could hear the Christian message in their own language, and they could read sacred texts in writing that was tailored to their phonetic needs. Opposition and challenges. Despite the brothers' success in Moravia, their mission faced significant opposition, particularly from the Latin-speaking clergy in Rome. The use of the Slavic language in religious practices was seen as controversial, and some of the Western Church leaders argued that Latin was the only acceptable language for the liturgy. In 867, Cyril and Methodius were summoned to Rome to defend their work. Pope Adrian II initially supported them and authorized the use of the Slavic language in the liturgy. However, when Pope John VIII came to power in 872, he initially reversed this decision, largely due to pressure from the Western clergy. Despite this, Cyril and Methodius continued to press on with their mission. Before Cyril passed away in 869, he made sure that Methodius would continue their work. Methodius was appointed Archbishop of Sirmium, in modern-day Serbia, which gave him significant authority over the Slavic Christian communities. With this position, Methodius continued to spread Christianity and advocate for the use of the Slavic language in the Church. Legacy and the status of patrons of Europe. After the death of Methodius in 885, the brothers' work in the Moravian region faced difficulties. The Latin clergy, now more firmly established in the region, sought to suppress the use of the Slavic language in favor of Latin. However, the legacy of Cyril and Methodius lived on through the spread of their translations and the continued use of the Glagolitic alphabet in parts of Eastern Europe. The work of Cyril and Methodius was not just about spreading Christianity but also about fostering a sense of cultural identity among the Slavic people. Their alphabet, which evolved into the Cyrillic script, would later become the basis for the written languages of many Slavic nations, including Russia, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Ukraine. Over time, the brothers came to be recognized as key figures in the development of Slavic culture and Christian identity. Their legacy was celebrated in the Eastern Orthodox Church, where they were venerated as saints. The Catholic Church, too, recognized their importance, and in 1980, Pope John Paul II declared Cyril and Methodius co-patrons of Europe, in recognition of their contributions to both the Christian faith and the cultural unity of the continent. Today, Cyril and Methodius are remembered not only for their religious mission but also for their lasting impact on European culture. Their creation of a Slavic script and their efforts to bridge the cultural gap between the East and West have made them enduring symbols of unity in Europe. Conclusion. The story of Cyril and Methodius is one of remarkable cultural and religious exchange. Their work in spreading Christianity in the Slavic world was groundbreaking, and their creation of a written language allowed the Slavic people to develop their own literary and cultural traditions. As patrons of Europe, they represent the power of language and faith to unite people across different cultures and regions, leaving an indelible mark on the history of Europe and the world.